All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. We got the 2-valve back in the garage, but as you guys can see, we got no hood on it still. If you guys are keeping up with the channel, if you guys aren't, a couple days ago, I actually sent this car off to get the hood modified so it can clear the 6061 throttle body and adapter due to the Vic Jr Intake manifold. And I also went ahead and sent this car to get pretty much the fenders adjusted so the hood would line up properly and it wouldn't have the jacked up fitment it had before on the previous hood, where it was high on this side and kind of flush on the other. Obviously, none of that happened except the hood being modified, which it looks good, but I'm gonna explain right now why this car does not have a hood on it and why some things are going to have to happen if I want to put the hood back on this car, or at least the carbon fiber hood that I did purchase. Man, it's been an interesting past couple of days. Texas 2K crunch time is real this year, let me tell you that, because theoretically, I don't really want to go down there with no hood, but worst case scenario, I will have to just get the coolant hose modified, I guess, you know, rerouted, which I was gonna do anyway, and just slap a filter over the Procharger and head out that way. But again, I don't really want to do that, but if I have to do that, I will. So if you guys enjoy the content, feel free to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and let's get into it. All right, let's go ahead and get a cold start so I can take this car out the garage. We have some space so I can show some things and we can go ahead and talk. And you guys can also go ahead and give some opinions. But firstly, this is kind of the start of the suspicion that I did have kind of shortly after I bought the car. Obviously, a lot of you guys are commenting that, you know, the car was in an accident, which it definitely was, 100% was. But again, I didn't think it was in that severe of an accident that it actually was in. Now, you guys can see here, it was ripped. The airbag is still in here. The airbag is intact. It's just, they just replaced the airbag itself, but they did not replace the horn cover, I guess, the cover. Now, the weird thing about this stuff is the airbag and horn for these 99 to 04 cars, to match the interior color that this car has currently, they're taxed beyond belief. Like, I'm pretty sure I could buy an S550 horn, especially a GT350 horn, which is ridiculous, for the same price as something like this. So I understand why they just cheaped out and they just bought the airbag itself, because you can do that, and they did not replace the cover, because a lot of these covers that are, you know, the correct price, the affordable price, that are not like 500 bucks, are like tan, and obviously this interior is not tan. So I guess they went ahead and cheaped out on that part, but at the same time, I kind of understand why they cheaped out, because it's like they price gouging that shit. So let's go ahead and get a cold start. But this car was definitely in a major accident. I have some photos of what we discovered after going ahead and removing one of the fenders, and it revealed some stuff. Cold start here, baby. videos like this, but this car was in an accident, and I believe it was in a pretty major on the screen right now, showcasing exactly what the driver's side core support looks like. I'm gonna roll my windows up right now too. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about that. Obviously, the driver's side core support was welded after it took a pretty nasty hit. Now, this is not the side that had the crazy fitment. We didn't even bother taking off the passenger side fender because we knew there was no way we're gonna get that hood situated. Because if it was high on the driver's side, you know, there's no way we're gonna get it fixed up with the tools and the knowledge that we had. So, that being said, I do believe this car was in pretty much like not really a T-bone incident. Maybe it got wrecked at the track or something like that. So I do know this car, before I did buy it, it had the 5.4 in it. And then the previous owners, the people that I bought it from, they installed the Procharger. So, I do believe at some point this car got a front impact, probably hit from the driver's side. I believe it messed up the wheels, it messed up the GT brakes that come on this car stock, because this car has Cobra brakes, which would explain why this car does have Cobra brakes. I also believe that it potentially damaged the NPI 2 valve motor that was in this car, which is why it has a 5.4 in it now. It also messed up the K member, which is why this car has the UPR K member in here. Oh, I'm sorry, not the UPR. Why did I say UPR? Jesus. The QA1 K member in here. And I also believe the car spun and probably went ahead and hit the passenger back, I guess, wheel and tire side, messed up that wheel and brakes, and that's kind of why the car has Cobra brakes in the rear as well. So a lot of the modifications that were done to this car, I believe, were done due to the impact. Now the crazy thing is, this doesn't show up on the Carfax, so this was all fixed up under the table, which I guess is pretty cool. That whoever had the car after the impact, or maybe the guys who, you know, currently had the car when it was hit, went ahead and swapped everything over. That's pretty awesome, I ain't gonna lie, because I always wondered why somebody would swap the Cobra brakes, or swap in the Cobra brakes, because I mean there's a lot of other options, especially if this is, you know, was a drag car, because that's kind of what it was. Because I know they had the 5.4 spec'd out for NA performance, and they were racing it at the strip, and then obviously it was Procharged, and that kind of, you know, that kind of stopped, and then I took ownership. But it's pretty interesting how, you know, all that happened. Whew. Crazy, man, crazy. But that core support has some really, really bad welds on it. They obviously did that the cheapest way possible, which again is kind of strange, because this car has a lot of nice parts on it. Like, why would you not just tube the front end if you're gonna turn it into like a drag car, or at least just get a new core support? Why weld the old one? I do understand that, like, the labor and all that to do, you know, a replacement core support is not cheap whatsoever. I do understand the labor to do a tube front end is not cheap whatsoever, but if you're gonna go all out with, you know, the built 5.4, and then you're gonna go ahead and do a K member, you know, spend the money swapping the Cobra brakes in, and then you know, obviously adding the Procharger. So I do believe the car was raced with the Procharger on it, but like on a very, very like mild tune. And as soon as they kind of had issues with that old trash fuel system that was on it, they probably sold it, and I took ownership, you know, and it is what it is today. So it's pretty support, I mean, core support's like 150 bucks. You can probably get them used for cheaper than that. I know the labor's expensive, but that literally is going to determine like how the car kind of rides and how things line up. Now, something else that is kind of ringing a bell, if you guys remember, if you guys don't, when I did get this car fully tuned, the first night I took the car out, literally the first night, the first pull actually, I broke the rear lower control arms doing like a 40 roll test hit. And then when I went ahead and took it to the shop to replace the QA1 tubular lower control arms, they said that like the suspension was all jacked up for drag racing. Obviously, I didn't take it to a speed shop or like a performance shop. I took it to a shop that could, you know, just get it replaced as quickly as possible. So, you know, if that's true, it kind of makes sense. Maybe, you know, it was aligned to compensate for that, you know, poor quality weld that was done on the core support. But it kind of just puts me in a situation where now I know, like, pretty much the only way to go ahead and get a hood on this car to fit properly is to obviously take this car to a body shop, and once they pull out the fenders, any good body shop, you know, is really not going to let the customer walk out with you know, that part in the condition that it's in. Some of you guys are watching the video are probably, you know, maybe body shop owners. If I was a body shop owner, I would definitely urge the customer to, you know, replace that, or I would kind of have them sign a waiver or something like that. Obviously, you know, I've had it for 8 months, and, you know, and I've been beating the shit out the car with it like that, but it's just one of those things that, you know, I know. Oh my god, I'm sorry for the shitty driving, but I am not driven this car in a couple of days again. It's one of those things that I know that it's been an accident. The repairs weren't done to, first of all, standards, and second of all, my satisfaction is like, what do I do? Do I go ahead and pretty much take the front end apart, put a new core support in? Do I go tubular front end and kind of compromise, I guess, the drivability, which again I don't want to do, because like I like doing things that I'm doing right now, just literally driving it around. And I know for a fact, like a tubular front end, it could potentially go ahead and compromise that. And on top of that, finding a shop to do that, I mean, I don't even trust anybody realistically right now. I really don't. I mean, I've had bad luck with the white 99, the white 2 valve I had with the machine shop, and now I've had bad luck with this car with, you know, people not doing, you know, good work. So I don't know. I really don't know. Or I could just fucking leave it, you know what I'm saying, and just get the coolant hose rerouted and then run this thing with no hood, which I ain't gonna lie, I don't like doing, but after doing some test hits, this car is hitting, I don't know if it's a placebo, it is hitting a lot different now that, oh my god, what is going on up there? A lot of lights and stuff like that. This car is hitting a lot different because of, I think, no hood and maximum airflow. I don't know, it feels good, it feels damn good, I'll tell you that. But I don't really know. I think what I'm gonna do right now is literally do nothing. Literally, I'm literally gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna do maintenance on the car, and just obviously, you know, get the wideband fixed up, because that is gonna be priority, and get that coolant hose fixed up, because that is priority. So I can take this car to Texas 2K, enjoy it, and then you know, I can just, you know, take it to meets and whatnot if I want to, cruise it like I'm doing right now if I want to, weather permitting, and, you know, just enjoy the car. You know, that's kind of like what I'm trying to do right now. Obviously with no hood, this thing is going to be like no longer a daily driver, but at the same time, that really isn't that big of a deal, because I'm thinking about honestly just getting like a $1,500 Honda daily, an actual daily, and just have that just to drive around, to go to the grocery store and whatnot, and kind of have that do the tasks that I'm having this car do. So, you know, it is what it is, because I don't really want to sell this car. So I do like it. It is a fun car, don't get me wrong. The performance is there. So if, like I said, I've talked about, you know, selling it and kind of getting like a C5 or something like that, and that would be because of just the car itself, not the 2-valve, not the performance, because to be honest with you, this 5.4 2-valve has completely, you know, altered my perspective on speed and what I want in a platform, as far as performance wise, because this is the real deal. Like, it only makes 600 horsepower, but at the same time it runs what a 700 horsepower Terminator does in the 60 to 130 due to weight and how this motor, you know, makes power with the torque and the curve, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that it doesn't make a lot of horsepower, but it also runs way higher than, you know, what you would expect. I like that. I like that about this 5.4 2-valve, and like, this car is kind of like living proof, minus the, you know, the hiccups we've had and stuff like that with it. This is living proof that a 2-valve is like literally not a waste of time and money. All right, so we're parked up at one of my favorite spots. Let me know what y'all think, man. What route will you guys go? Comment down below. Now, obviously the issue was on this side of the car, but the fitment was on this side of the car. So we'll see. We shall see. Car's dirty right now. Got to get that cleaned up, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace these front brakes before I do go down to Dallas, because you guys can see they have seen some better days. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna actually get just like the stock style replacements, but probably just like some drilled and slotted rotors, the ceramic, just because they are a little bit lighter. Thought about going TBM or something like that, but man, I just drive this car too much. Forget it. The rears are good. You guys can see rear brakes are fine. Just gonna go ahead and replace the front. But yeah, that's pretty much what's gonna go down these next couple of days. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.